Yo, what is going on, my people? So today we're actually checking out Monument Mythos. Now, we did check out a few of these videos on my Subscribe Horror Movie Night streams, so we are going to start off halfway through Season 1. If you guys do want to check out more of these kinds of videos, and just in case if you don't want to miss out on certain things, please go ahead and join us while we're live on Saturdays doing Subscribe Horror Movie Nights. It's pretty fun to get to hang out with the community, have a good time. We are going to start off on Episode 6 on Season 1, Air Force One Angel. So this one's going to be very interesting. If you guys want to see more analog horror stuff like this, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I do play analog horror type games too, any other horror games as well. But yeah, let's just go ahead and dive on in. Let's do it, guys. So this is Monument Mythos Season 1. Turns out there's 2 seasons, so I got a lot to catch up with. Episode 6, Air Force One Angel. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go. No closed captions either, I see. Alright, let's do this. August 17th, 2003, Air Force One made an unannounced trip across the continent. Many civilians claim to have seen the aircraft drop packages of various nations. Okay. I'm curious what's the twist in this. Because, like I said, the best one I've seen of Monument Mythos was what's that with the president's faces on the mountainside and he got like all corrupted looking. Like they came to life or something. It was really creepy. Okay. Making trips, alright. Hold up, why is California disappearing? Where's it? Wait, where's the... Hello? What's happening to the States, bro? What is that? White House officials later disclosed that unusual flight Air Force One was unauthorized and unmanned. This lone figure has a silent plane dubbed Air Force One Angel has yet to be identified by federal authorities. Yo, that's freaky. That's freaky. But okay, question. Guys, I know since I'm late to the game, I know, you know, Monument Mythos been going on for a while now. I'm late to it. But what the heck? Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I'm confused, concerned on so many levels of what the heck did it destroy the states or something? And then on top of that, I don't know if it was just me. I didn't notice a Statue of Liberty at all. Yo, still freaky enough. We about to dive on into the next one, guys. Let's do it. Okay. Lincoln Looker, okay.
I was a Lincoln Looker for 2 weeks. It was terrifying. One moment you're at home answering the door, and the next you're stuck in some kind of suit. The smell was awful in there, and the metal seat was so cold. The only thing you can do is look through 2 little holes. It was some kind of mask, and whenever the sun shined near, I could see the inside of it. It was a familiar face. Every few nights, straws would be put through the holes and someone would feed me some weird soup. After 2 weeks, they found out that they had misidentified me and I wasn't the correct Lincoln Looker. Reagan apologized to me personally, and I was released with some monetary compensation.
What?
They don't care if I talk about it or not. No one would take me seriously. Lincoln looking is just too absurd.
What is it? Oh, hello. Mask drawn by Maya Arnoldson. So wait. Is this what I think it is?
There's always that someone that we dislike more than everyone else. Not usually famous or important, but you've done something that's affected us personally. Often you're the only person who remembers this act. It may not have been that bad, but memory hurts. Everyone experiences this, and the president is no exception. Except he can do something about it. Every president can choose one person to be a Lincoln looker. After their alibi is fabricated, the person is abducted from their home, and they stay a Lincoln looker for as long as the president sits in office. Nobody can question his decision, and there's no trial. You might be surprised, but it's nothing new. It's been a tradition. Lincoln lookers have been around for a very long time.
What? Due to rumors that Lincoln lookers were imprisoned behind presidential portraits, White House officials publicly removed and reinstalled portrait one. So wait, they just sit there behind a portrait of Lincoln? What? That's really bizarre. I don't know how to feel about that.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hey, Eunice. It's Howard. I don't know what I just saw. I was at the top of the steps, reading the inscriptions and talking to visitors, when I started to hear a faint scratching sound. I didn't think much of it at first, but when I got close to the chair, I realized that the scratching was coming from inside the marble. So I went to a guard and asked whether she could do anything about animals that could be trapped in there. She told me not to worry about it, and that they'd take care of it once there were fewer visitors. A few minutes passed, and the scratching became much louder. I went back to the guard and asked what kind of animals usually got stuck in there, and she said, wild animals. The sound started to make visitors anxious. I remember one boy pulling so hard at his mother's hand, begging to leave. A blind girl with one of those canes went up to the chair and pressed her head against it to listen. Then she started crying. Her parents tried to pull her away, but she just began to hit the chair with her cane. That's when the guards asked everyone to go back down the steps. I don't know why, and it's going to sound crazy, but I felt compelled to help. So I went to the blind girl and joined her in hitting the marble. The guards tried to pin us down, but the scratching became too loud for even them. It sounded like someone was shaving down a chalkboard.
Oh.
Eventually the marble began to crack, and a few more hits caused the crevice to expand all the way to the top of the chair. There was a sudden burst of air from the damage, and the head suddenly turned toward us. I was afraid it would fall, so I picked the girl up and went down a few steps. The head slowly rotated back into place, and when it started to be pushed upwards, I took out my camera. It was no wild animal.
Dude, that was chilling. What the heck? Howard Melrose recorded the following image. Oh, God. Is it what I... Oh! Oh my God! Yo! See, this is what I like about Monument Mythos. It's just like the smallest little tidbit that make you feel so uncomfortable and uneasy. That's what I like about this so far. And I'm glad you guys recommended this to me too, because I knew I was eventually going to look at this series, but I never got a chance to. I just seen, like I said, like episodes 1 through 5 in total throughout all of Subscriber Horror Movie Nights that you guys sent me. But yo, this is freaking insane, dude. We're about to hop on to the next one. All right, this one is the Washington wormhole, okay? So this one's going to be, I'm pretty sure, just as chilling as the last one. Also, my guess was right, too, about the Lincoln Looker. Because originally, I was going to say, was anybody inside the, the Lincoln Monument, the giant statue? Because I knew something was odd, but they kind of threw me off a bit with the pictures. So I don't know if the Lincoln Looker, like, had, like like a thing behind, like it's connected to the pictures too, along with the monument. I don't know, but yo, I had my suspicion was right. But yeah, let's hop on into this one. Washington wormhole, man. Ah, dude.
The forest fell swiftly as the lumberjack swung, except for the special tree, which could not be stung. She missed her friends and the hymns they sung, so she started a tune that broke the man's lung.
Whoa, what? That broke the man's lung. Timeline of events. Okay. A tentacle? First photograph of the special tree was hey, that's not no tree, bro. That's not a tree. Come on, man. That's not a tree. They put a building around it? Construction begins. That's a bad idea. Okay. Okay, they start building more around it? Construction halts due to American Civil War. Okay, that makes sense. Prisoners of war was seen being led to the unfinished tower. The thing eats them. No, the thing eats them, bro. It eats the prisoners. I already know, man. It has to. What? Construction is completed? Bro. That's creepy. That's genuinely creepy. I didn't know they was constructing that building. The Washington Monument, and listen closely. Hear the music within its walls. 10 cents per head. Washington Monument becomes a major tourist attraction. It eats the tourists. Yo, that's pretty freaking creepy, man. I wasn't expecting that building to be the Washington Monument. Hello? From 1910 to 1971, 20 individuals disappeared while visiting the Washington Monument. The missing visitors are known as Washington absentees? Oh. 1972 Washington Standard Operation. Okay. Classified film titled Washington Standard Operation is leaked by news agencies. That's not good. Okay. Person walking into the monument. Monument entrance door. Okay. So it's a pulley that takes you up like an elevator, right? That's what it looks like. It's like a pulley system. Hoisting cable. Yeah. Okay, that's what it's close. It's still a pulley, but... Okay. Sound waves. What? That's what goes down? Huh. 2000. Wait. Washington Monument was vandalized. The infection is nigh. The music of Washington will end. Dude, that's freaking nuts. So, what? Is this a video? Yo, okay. Jeez, your focus, my guy. Oh! Okay. Hello? What the Dude. All 19 watched absentees are found unconscious at the base of the monument. I mean, that was some drop. Yo, this music, though, kind of hit different, though. I like this music, man. Yo. Before we get into the next one, I want to say, yo, this thing is... The only thing I'm confused, though, is that the absentees, they said they were found unconscious, so they didn't get eaten? So I'm curious, I'm like, did they at least get bodied? Because keep in mind, what they were showing us is that you go up a pulley, like a winch thing, that takes you all the way to the top. Then the basket that takes you up to the top has like a trap door, and it drops you back down. You will get bodied off of that fall. And on top of that, talking about it's an infection based off the sound. Dude, I don't know, man. This is like stuff like this. It makes you wonder, like, what if? I know it's not real, I know, but just a what if, you know? That's creepy. That's really creepy. This is the longest one, so I take it this may be the last one that I'm gonna watch, guys, because I don't want this video to be too long. But this is 18 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's just dive on in. Virginia and Wonderland by Virginia. Okay. The recollection of the tragedy. Okay.
During the first winter of the center's construction, the workers set up a Christmas tree just outside the entrance. It was an uncanny sight to see a green fir stand in the middle of what appeared to be a no-man's land. But this tree, humbly ordained with strings of cranberries, buttons, and tin cans, greatly affected me. It demonstrated that even in the darkest of times, the American people will light the beacons of hope. I thought it could be the start of a great and inspiring tradition, so I traveled north to Babylon in search of a Christmas tree for the following year.
Okay. So I was wondering, I'm like, decorating a tree. That just sounds like a Christmas tree, right? At least with their decorations, I mean.
For 12 days and 12 nights, Mr. Rockefeller looked for the best tree in the forest. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, no, it's much too short. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, no, it's much too tall. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, no, it's much too average. Mr. Rockefeller soon feared that he would leave empty-handed. Then, on the 12th night, just as he was packing up his stuff, Mr. Rockefeller heard the sweetest tune in the air. It sounded as though the very wind itself had fallen in love. He and his men followed the song and found themselves at the base of a very, very special tree. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? It's perfect. For the rest of the night, the men swung their axes at the special tree. Chop, chop, chop. However, when the sun rose, the tree was still standing. Their axes had left no marks at all. Mr. Rockefeller was surprised.
That's not a tree.
The next day, Mr. Rockefeller and his men laid 100 sticks of dynamite around the tree. 3, 2, 1, boom! Yet, the special tree continued to stand. Mr. Rockefeller was surprised.
Man.
So Mr. Rockefeller decided to hire the best team of grave diggers to take the tree out of the ground. After a week of digging, they told Mr. Rockefeller the tree will be out in 3 years at this rate. Mr. Rockefeller was surprised, but he decided to let the grave diggers work.
You choose the worst looking tree.
3 best trees for the next 3 Christmases. But by the 4th year, the special tree was ready to display.
Dude, that was a whole tentacle, bro. What are y'all doing? And I'm noticing, too, this is a continuous theme with Monument Mythos, I'm noticing.
For the last 2 years, I have seldom mentioned the tragedy that occurred at the center. Many have taken offense at my silence, claiming it to be the result of a desensitization to workplace accidents. Indeed, I have seen enough accidents in 3 lifetimes, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened at the center. For some time now, my friends have blamed the center's original construction workers for the tragedy, since it was their very own Christmas tree that had started the whole tradition. But the truth is that their tree brought joy and wonder to the public. It was my tree, and my tree alone, that brought about the unprecedented loss.
Okay. Even more interesting. So we're switching between like the recollection and just this story, which is, it's a cool little mixture, I'm noticing.
On a cold December morning in Midtown Manhattan, Rockefeller's men slowly raised the special tree. Heave ho! Heave ho! Heave ho! By the afternoon, the special tree stood tall and still. It was unlike any other tree, having no color, branches, or leaves. The mayor of New York, Mr. Guardia, thought that the tree was too bare and asked for branches to be added so that ornaments could be hung. Mr. Rockefeller didn't agree. He thought the tree was perfect, just the way it was. But since Mayor Guardia had been one of his best friends, Mr. Rockefeller told his men to glue some branches on. I, Virginia, watched as the men placed branches on the special tree. I had saved my money for over 9 months to purchase a little star ornament because I wanted to be the very first person to decorate the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
Things are gonna go haywire.
It laid in my pocket while I watched because I planned to hang my ornament as soon as the tree was standing. After the final branch had been added and all the men left, I quickly ran up to the tree. But to my astonishment, the lowest branch of the tree was over twice my height. I jumped as high as I could, but still, the lowest branch was out of my reach. I was very disappointed. I wanted to be the very first person to decorate the tree, but now I had no chance. Unless I called my friends.
Oh, I'm about to say, I thought she said, unless I climbed the tree.
My friends on my fingers. There was Helen, Charles, Elizabeth, Alice, Joseph, Elsie, Orville, Edith, Olive, and Philip.
I have a feeling all of these kids about to get bodied by this tree.
Then I realized that 10 friends standing on each other's shoulders could put me at the very top of the Christmas tree. My star could be the first and the tallest. Without a second to spare, I ran from door to door asking for help. Knock, knock, knock. Helen, are you there? Knock, knock, knock. Charles, are you there? Knock, knock, knock. Elizabeth,
Is she about to do that for all of them?
Eventually, I gathered all 10 of my friends at the bottom of the Rockefeller Christmas tree. I told them my plan, to have them all stand on each other and form a ladder for me to climb to the top. My friends understood my excitement, and they quickly started to climb onto each other's shoulders. Ow! Helen had stepped on Charles' fingers. Ow! Charles had stepped on Elizabeth's fingers. Ow! Elizabeth had stepped on Alice's fingers.
You know how heavy that has to be for the person at the bottom?
My friends formed a sturdy ladder, and I began to climb. My joy grew with every passing face. Before I knew it, I was at the very top, looking down at the tree. My ladder of friends swayed back and forth, and occasionally felt like it was about to collapse.
You don't say.
But I tuned out the movement and focused on the tree. Closer, friends, closer. Then I secured the metal star at the top of the tree. It was perfect. Hooray! Victory! I'm the first! Just then, there was a strange sound. The tree began to shake. Its glued branches fell off all at once, and the entire tree slowly bent backwards. Soon, the very top of it touched the ground, forming a perfect arc. It was like a very strange rainbow. My heart sank as I saw my star gently slide to the ground from the tree's top. Bolts of lightning then shot out from inside the arc of the tree, producing thunderous booms. The lightning scared my friends and me. We all tumbled to the ground and ran in all directions, but the lightning caught up to us. I was blinded by a great white light.
They just
I
got
remember when
zapped.
my eyes adjusted, I was in a field of special trees, and I saw... In a flash, I returned to the street where my friends and I had been struck by the lightning. We were all on the ground, being attended to by other people. I had scratched my legs badly, and I could see that my friends were also hurt. I looked up at the Rockefeller buildings, and I thought that they looked a little different. The whole street looked a little different, and the special tree was nowhere in sight.
Dude, she in another dimension, dude. Things centered to a whole nother dimension. What is this, man? And like I said, I notice a lot of these Monument Mythos monsters are like freaking worm things, man, like aliens or
It is
something.
only natural for the reader at this point to wonder why the incident has been referred to as a tragedy. There had been no loss of life, and, aside from a few temporary scorch marks on the center, no damage to the surrounding property. I, too, assumed it was a mostly inconsequential event, likely an electrical accident with effect...
Oh my god, that scared the heck out of me. Yo, that scared me to death, but yo. Oh my god.
The scene. I was grateful that every life involved had been spared. A death at the center would have weighed heavily on my mind for some time. But when I encountered the results of the
Those are the
children's
kids.
medical examinations,
I think.
I wished that a death had occurred in place of the unfathomable.
So what I'm guessing, maybe the tree or whatever the thing that is sent them to like a different
My mom
location.
and pa visited me at the hospital, but they looked completely different. Ma looked worried. After she wiped her tears, she asked, "Did you hang your bear at the Rockefeller tree?" I answered, "It wasn't a bear. I was going to hang a star."
Alternate dimension?
They asked, "What do you mean?" Pa asked, "Where did you get these clothes?" I answered, "These are my clothes, the ones you helped me put on this morning." To which they asked, "What do you mean?" My ma then asked, "Why are there dots all over your face?" I answered, "They are my freckles. I've had them since I was little." To which they asked, "What do you mean?" My parents quietly left my bed and talked to my friends' parents. Then they all started to cry and yell. The nurses made them leave, which made me feel better. None of us thought that our real parents had visited, but they all did feel familiar. Orville and Philip were especially shaken. They didn't even share the same last name with their parents.
What?
The nurses tried to convince us that those who had visited us were our parents, and that we would come around to properly greet them after we healed. But it was hard to believe. Whenever I looked out the window, I saw that Manhattan looked different from memory. Mr. Rockefeller himself was kind enough to visit us in the hospital. He asked us whether we were okay, and then after some time, he and the nurses began to ask us some very easy questions about American history. With every reply, they would chuckle and shake their heads, until I told Mr. Rockefeller who I thought he was. He chuckled at first, and then became silent, as if the simple fact had deeply affected him. He had asked all my friends a few more questions about himself, and with each answer, he seemed a little more scared. Mr. Rockefeller quietly stood with the nurses for a while before he wished us a Merry Christmas and left. That evening, the nurses took x-rays of us to make sure we hadn't broken our ribs. Usually, those taking the x-rays are more than happy to show their patients what the pictures looked like. But when I asked to see them, the nurses ignored me. I didn't fall asleep that night. I kept my ear close to the wall to hear what the nurses were saying next door. I heard one sentence over and over. Everything's backward. I wonder what they meant by that.
What?
I never told my friends because I didn't want to scare them. But I spent the rest of the night with my hand to my chest, wondering if my heart was ever on the right side.
Dude, they went to an alternate dimension because of the tree. That's crazy. Okay. This is getting spicy, man. At first it started off kind of slow, but now, man, it's picking up. It's crazy.
For several weeks, the children were kept under observation at the Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. I visited them as soon as I had the chance to. All the families of these children were deeply unsettled, but they had all independently come to the conclusion their child had been replaced by a doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Oh.
They claimed that these new sons and daughters possessed substantial differences from their real children. The majority of differences involved altered physical attributes and the inability to recognize familiar locations and characters, such as their parents and their homes. Two boys even claimed to have names different to those that their mothers had given them at birth.
Interesting.
But of all the discrepancies, the most bizarre was their faulty recollections of notable persons and events. For instance, each of the affected children claimed that I had become the wealthiest man in America through an oil monopoly. It is common knowledge that I did indeed work at an oil refinery in my youth, but to entirely deny my 2 terms as president, and insist instead that I had always been a mere philanthropist, struck me as being particularly odd.
Yo, it's completely different.
Families were agonized by the children's behavior. Some continue to search for their real children. I support their endeavors, for I do not believe that the children's afflictions were the result of hysteria. Every day, I find myself recollecting the day that I had selected the tree. I have since realized the difficulties involved in the removal of it should have repeatedly discouraged me. And had I been discouraged, the families of those children would not be experiencing the anguish that they currently have. Perhaps I never had the opportunity to select another tree. Perhaps I was meant to select that tree regardless of my persistent character. Perhaps we are all trolleys, forced to follow the path of the track to each of our destinations. I take solace in that thought. Or perhaps the tree chose me.
Oh, that's the image of the tree. Oh, God. Why would you want that thing, though? What will make you like, oh, that tree is perfect. Let me take the... No, bro. And just imagine... Oh, I think it's done. Wait. Many, including my father, believed that 1934 Christmas tree vanished. Wondering about the plaza on many occasions. It resembles a man far more than any tree. Wow. That was like movie worth, dude. And this is a thing too, a quick discussion before I end today's video, guys. Just imagine you just in a reality and you're like, these kids don't know any better. All they was trying to do was just put a decoration on this ugly tree. Next thing you know, once they did that, the tree decided to come alive and make a I want to say it when it shocked them, it sent them to an alternate reality where things aren't how they should be, and how, like, pretty much what the nurse says, everything is backwards, their reality don't match ours. And another thing too is that when we're getting a story from Rockefeller itself, it seems like he's speaking on that alternate reality, and that these kids are completely different than pretty much our universe. It's a twist that I wasn't expecting, but this is freaking gold. I really do like this. Every last one of these videos, the crazy twist in between every last piece of the story, even if it's something minor and it has an essence of horror, intrigue, and suspense, I really do like this. This is freaking gold, and I'm glad you guys told me about this series. Alright guys, so that was Monument Mythos. If you guys want more of this and want me to continue watching this series all the way through season 2, please leave a like on it and subscribe. Do greatly appreciate all the support, guys. This is going to be a longer video, but yo, thank you guys for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that sub button, join Legendary Army today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.